The UK government has set ambitious targets to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Since 2021, the Industrial Decarbonisation Research and Innovation Centre, IDRIC, has driven progress towards this goal, developing solutions for net zero industries. Led by Professor Mercedes Morota-Valer, IDRIC works both nationally and internationally to deliver results through 6 key pillars of change. Decarbonisation solutions are de-risked and happen at pace, fostering collaboration between stakeholders, growing skills capacity, supporting policymakers, engaging the general public, and sharing knowledge with industry outside the clusters and internationally. Through this framework, IDRIC has achieved a portfolio of 100 challenge-driven research projects, working across our pillars of change and resulting in over 60 innovative new prototypes, processes, models, and tools. This has been accomplished through collaboration with over 40 research institutions, along with nearly 200 industry partners, trade associations, governmental and public bodies. All of this to create a sustainable industrial future for the UK. Within IDRIC's diverse research portfolio, 71 projects have focused on de-risking decarbonisation solutions for faster uptake into industrial settings. An example of this can be seen at the Teesside cluster.
We've got our cluster plan and we're aiming for net zero by 2040. The projects that IDRIC have supported have allowed us to push a lot of things forward. For example, the carbon capture side, they supported a project alongside Teesside University, and that's influenced BP's plan to come here.
With IDRIC, it was really great to get the support for the project we did with Corn. The analysis we did for them actually showed that the carbon capture was smaller than what they currently pay for CO2 as a part of the operation.
This vital work continues at sites across IDRIC's network.
So IDRIC has allowed us to help de-risk the ideas for industry and show an industry that they could make something back from it, from investing in the first place.
We've been using the funding from IDRIC to work with key partners and service providers. And it's allowed us to work within a timeline that would have been 2, 3, 4, 5 years longer had we have not had that funding to allow us to do that work.
We have built a strong network of academic institutions, industry and policymakers, including 243 organisations who have directly partnered with IDRIC. Our wider stakeholder network reaches over 1,000 organisations. Across the clusters, we have fostered 21 innovative collaborative projects.
Programs like IDRIC start to focus on the problem. You have a network, you have policymakers interested, you have industries interested, you have academia. This is how we were introduced to British Steel and other industries who are interested in this sustainable product.
What we're managing to do is bring people together to enable people to understand the problems each other are facing in terms of things like carbon accounting and life cycle assessment.
IDRIC is doing a fantastic job of making sure that research and industry, the academia and also the service industry like us comes together to actually be on the same page to address these challenges and find solutions that are scalable.
"21 of IDRIC's research projects have contributed to building the skills capacity required to deliver industrial decarbonisation and ensuring the future workforce truly represents the UK's diverse population."
We knew that it would be crucial for IDRIC to have EDI threaded all through it. So not just equality, but also diversity and also inclusion.
It's really important for industry, for government, but especially for the workforce to know that the numbers of jobs that are being created are actually realistic. That's where the research that IDRIC supports will form part of the evidence base that we're looking at when we're trying to see where the jobs of the future lie.
My work within IDRIC was to develop a CPD training course on the decarbonisation of heating and cooling. We see this project as really important in upskilling the UK workforce. So when they're looking for new solutions that are low carbon and net zero, they can make informed choices.
Over half of IDRIC's research projects have provided evidence to support policymakers in making informed decisions and developing effective policy and regulation. Our policy work includes building an active network of more than 70 key stakeholder organisations from government, regulators, industry, academia and civil society.
I've made sure that the modelling used by the Climate Change Committee is fit for purpose for the analysis needed in the future. This will translate into policy making because the Climate Change Committee will present the 7th Carbon Budget Report in February 2025 to the UK government, and if it is accepted, then it will become law.
IDRIC has definitely played a role in kind of building the evidence base upon which the people like the Environment Agency can then make informed decisions about environmental risks and regulation.
We found the policy synthesis report that IDRIC produced really valuable in pushing some of the issues that we've identified as challenges to the sector's decarbonisation.
"26 IDRIC projects have focused on the social impacts of industrial decarbonisation, including projects that have developed toolkits and best practice guidance to support policymakers, clusters and industries in their public engagement.
Industrial decarbonisation is a hugely impactful topic, so we really have to talk in depth and detail to the people who are going to be affected by those changes.
It's about adding a kind of a place dimension to ideas about net zero, what we call a place-sensitive mindset. IDRIC has been very important for enabling that to happen.
My work was looking at the preparedness of young people in schools and colleges and their motivations, attitudes, and generally their desire to work in climate-related careers. So some of the data which we collected has been used now to inform the government for what they need to prepare. And that would never have happened if I hadn't got that IDRIC grant.
"36 research projects have worked to broaden IDRIC's reach beyond the 7 largest industrial clusters to the rest of the UK and internationally.
We're thinking more about the smaller industries that are based around the country that don't have access to carbon capture and storage at a large scale. We try and inform them of the opportunities, the different technologies that are available.
Many clusters around the world have actually come to us and said, how are you getting all these big private sector companies, quite often competitors in many fields, how are you getting them to work together? And so the UK has been able to demonstrate a leading edge kind of position. And who better than an entity like IDRIC to be able to form that learning, that knowledge centre of industrial decarbonisation and the flow of knowledge both into and out of the UK.
Being able to reach out and learn lessons from international communities can help the UK to be able to accelerate its decarbonisation in these clusters. And in doing so, it'll make sure those lessons learned reduce costs through iterations and save value and time and efficiencies.
IDRIC has started the journey to decarbonise our industries and find a brighter future. With IDRIC's support, our industries will lead the world in decarbonisation, our communities will be more prosperous, our jobs more secure, and our environments safer for generations to come.
Industrial decarbonisation isn't just a research topic for me, it's something we have to get right because our futures depend on it.
Seeing how the industrial clusters have progressed since 2020 has just been phenomenal. I'm blown away by some of the results that our colleagues have had.
With IDRIC's research, we are seeing a reduction in our emissions across the Tees Valley. We know that there has been an impact and that things are going in the right direction.
IDRIC accelerates what we're trying to achieve from a decarbonisation standpoint. We need to keep going down that path.